Erik Ten Hag transformed Manchester United last season, but how we played is not exactly how he wants his team to play. So what I want to speak about in this video is version 2 of Ten Hag's United. Compare it to last year. What did we do well last year? Where are we going to improve this year? Why Mason Mount's so important to that? Why Andre Onana is so important to that? I'll give you a tactical run through of what we saw against Leeds and the lessons that we learned, the suspicions I had that were proven correct. You can let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. And please, if you can, just take 1 second out right now and drop a like on the video. So many of you watch, so few of you drop a like on the video. I have no idea why. Maybe you just don't like me. That could be a reason. But look, Ten Hag last season, the pre-season was all about fitness drills. These are my principles. This is my philosophy. This is how I want you to play. And it was a lot for the players to take in, having just gone through Solskjaer being sacked and Rangnick. And the club was, it was at a low point there. And that proved to be the case. Here is us against Brighton. You can see that we're trying to use the 3 at the back system. And I'll explain what that is from a tactical perspective. But look how much space is in the middle there, right? Look at all that space. Where's Fred? Fred's down there. Out of position. Yeah, it didn't work at all. Didn't work at all in those first 2 games. Man United lost against Brighton and Brentford. And then it kind of switched. This was the game against Liverpool. And look, we're using a different system here. We're using Eriksen there. McTominay there, 2 in midfield, 4-2-2 if you want to call it that. Sancho and Fernandes as the 2 attacking midfielders of Rashford and Martial, and it worked. Manchester United, of course, beating Liverpool there to end that miserable run. But it was this formation that we used the majority of last season. 4 at the back, there's Varane, there's Shaw, Madasir, and Wan-Bissaka's hiding off screen down here. Casemiro and Fred as the 2, Eriksen as the number 10, with Rashford, Martial, and Bruno out on the right-hand side. It was that 4-2-3-1 that we used for the majority of the season. But that's not what Ten Hag wants. That's not his system. This is the system that he wanted to use across the whole course of the season, but couldn't. This was Everton away last season. You can see you've got Martinez. I think that's I don't know who that is. Lindelof? I think it's Lindelof. And Shaw, 3 at the back, 1 holding midfielder, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 3-1-6. That allows a load of overloads in the attack. And look at the shape of that team there. And look at the shape of Manchester United against Leeds. We've got Varane, Martinez, and Alvaro Fernandez there. Kobbie Mainoo is the 1. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 3-1-6. Exactly what we've seen here last season, but we rarely saw this season. Now, how does this work? The 3-1-6 system is quite simple. It might sound complicated, but it's not at all. What happens is the ball goes forward and let's just say Wan-Bissaka's the fullback that goes forward and inverts. The inversion means instead of going on the outside of the attacker, he'll cut into the inside. That's what the inversion is, right? So by doing that, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw will tuck in and you can start seeing the shape here, right? Because now all of a sudden, there's your 3. You've got Casemiro holding the ball up here. There's your 1. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 6 attackers. That's your 3-1-6 system. It basically means one of the fullbacks goes forward. We saw that against Leeds yesterday. Right, I've got that here. And this is the shape that we're going to use. And you know what? This is why Mason Mount's going to be a really important signing. Because he fits this system like a glove for what Ten Hag needs. That all-round, all-purpose midfielder. I mean, Ten Hag actually said that he labelled Mason Mount a complete midfielder. And by that, it doesn't mean that he's like 10 out of 10 in everything, but it means that there's not like a glaring weakness. He's very good coming back defensively. He's very good going forward creatively. Passes, assists, excellent work rate, good off the ball, everything really. That's why he bought Mason Mount. And interestingly enough, yesterday, what we actually saw from United was kind of a bit of variety as well. A lot of variety. So you've got 3-1-6 system there. Not too long after that, it was Mason Mount who dropped in to be the 3-1-6 pivot. And then Kobbie Mainoo went forward a little bit. And then we saw at different times, we saw Manchester United, look, kind of having a 4-2-4. That's Wan-Bissaka over there with Alvaro Fernandez, 2 centre-backs. But Mount here alongside Kobbie Mainoo. A little bit of tactical versatility. And that will help United here. You've got, what, 3 3-2-5, slight different variations, really. But it all will revolve around this system going forward. Because what this does, it allows Manchester United to really aggressively press, right? Everybody can squeeze the space now. Wan-Bissaka can tuck inside as the inverted fullback. And all of a sudden, the amount of bodies you've got here, you make the pitch small for the opposition in their half. And that is also the second point that I want to raise. So as much as Mason Mount is crucial to this system working properly, compared to last season, as I said, when we went into the first game of the campaign, Ten Hag had tried to get these players to do it, but they didn't know what they were doing. It really didn't work, so we had to switch it. It worked against Liverpool, and then we kind of got stuck in the 4-2-3-1. But he wants that 3-1-6. That's his system that he had at Ajax and that he hasn't been able to use at Manchester United enough. But this is probably the difference maker between why it didn't work last season and why it will work this season. Andre Onana. It's the goalkeeper who really is fundamental to this, and I'll explain why here. Because you got this system here. Last season, right, let's bring everyone back into position. So you got Luke Shaw going out there, Martinez and Varane. You got Wan-Bissaka coming back into defence, and you got Bruno, Mount, and Casemiro. There you go. There's your typical system that I think will start with 4-3-3 on paper, but how that switches in possession. The difference here is that because I've got Heaton here, right, I'm going to switch him out for Onana. David De Gea's average position was very low last season. Onana is going to occupy that, which of course brings everybody up the pitch. So Manchester United now, our average positions for every player should be significantly higher up the pitch than they were before, which of course makes that pitch so much smaller for the opposition. So what United can do now, if we're looking to use the 3-1-6 like this, then all of a sudden you get Wan-Bissaka overlapping down there. Varane, Martinez, Shaw comes across, and you get that shape that you saw here with Varane, Martinez, and Alvaro Fernandez, with Kobbie Mainoo as a number 6 in front of him. That would be Casemiro. That would be Casemiro mainly, but we'll see what happens with Kobbie. And then look at Manchester United. Look how much we can squeeze this space here now. Wan-Bissaka's the overload, right? It's going to be extremely hard. Obviously, you can say, look, well, the opposition can just use this space. Yeah, they could. Casemiro will have to cover that space if the ball goes over the top and he gets exposed. And you could say there's space there too. Yeah, sure. But this is what a proactive, aggressive team can do using this formation. Because now, all of a sudden, you are going to win the ball so much more in these positions. And that's why this man suits it perfectly, because he suits that perfectly. That's why Andre Onana coming in is so important, because all of a sudden United make the pitch smaller and the 3-1-6 system becomes significantly more effective than it was last season. That's the evolution, if you want to call it that, of Ten Hag's system that I expected to see this season. Let me get everyone back in position, right? And this is something that the players kind of had to try and learn last year, but they weren't able to do it in time for the season starting. And we also didn't have players who were good enough to fit this system perfectly. But this season we will. We saw how Mason Mount played yesterday, right? I was quite impressed by it. Imagine what he does there, but instead of it being Hannibal alongside him, he's got Bruno. Bruno and Mason Mount will run relentlessly in that system. Casemiro's going to have cover a lot of ground, but that's what happens that's why it will help when he's got Varane and Martinez pushing up further, because we've got Onana behind him, because all of a sudden the space he's covering is a lot less. It's a tactical step towards Ten Hag's Ajax system. Of course, what he saw yesterday wouldn't have been perfect against Leeds, and he would have been, okay, we'll do this. Yeah, okay, right, good. But I don't think we'll be using that system much this season, the 4-2-3-1. With 2 midfielders, 1 number 10. I think we'll be switching more towards 2 number 8s. You can see him there. That's Mason Mount there. That's Hannibal there. And that creates all the overloads in this area. Because we have 3 at the back. Da-da. Oh, that's a terrible one. Let me go back. That was a terrible circle. See if I finish on a high. 3 at the back. 1 in the middle. And 6 up top. That's how United are going to press with intensity, press high up the pitch, And that's the tactical evolution from Ten Hag last year to this year. I thought we'd see it. I saw it straight away there against Leeds. And I think we'll only get better at it as the course of the season goes on. But we won't be getting steamrolled in the first game like we did against Brighton last time, because the players will actually understand the system. And I'm looking forward to seeing Casemiro in it, Shaw in it, Rashford in it, Bruno alongside Mount. Add Onana into it, cooking on gas. Bring on the Premier League season. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. I hope that's helped you understand what this 3-1-6 system is. It's really as simple as one fullback going forward and the other fullback coming in to make three at the back. Quite simple, but it allows United to press from the front. That's what Ten Hag wants. That's what he'll be teaching the players to do even more so. I'm looking forward to seeing it in action. I really, really am. Let me know what you think.